Hello and welcome to 7.1. This is the intro to exponents, and our objective is that students will be able to simplify and understand exponents. This may be a review for you. It may be new to you. Either way, let's just get started and see if we can get into it and get some examples going. So we do have two elements of an exponent. Right here, we have a to the n, that's what you can say, or a to the power of n. These variables are just to label the parts here that we have going on. So we have a base, and the exponent, or the power. And they each do different things. So the base tells us this is what number is being multiplied by itself. It's number. I'm a terrible speller if you didn't know that. It took me a minute. So what number is being multiplied by itself? That is the base. And then the exponent, or the power, it tells you how many times that you're going to multiply said number. So you can take a picture of this, or I suggest actually copying it down so you can remember it. But these are the two elements of our exponent. We're going to just do some examples here. So we can, let me zoom in. Do some different examples. So for example, if we had 2 to the power of 3, our base is 2 and our exponent is 3. So this is telling us that we need to multiply 2 3 times, not 2 times 3. If it was 2 times 3, we wouldn't bother writing it like this. We would write it how we write multiplication. This is 2 3 times. So if I say, what are we multiplying? 2. How many times are we multiplying it by itself? 3. We're multiplying. If we're going to write it in expanded form, it's called 2 times 2 times 2. Recap from last semester, or if you're new, the dots are multiplying now because we are all grown up. We're graduated from the X. We have 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. The answer is 8. You would not get the right answer if you just multiplied 2 times 3, that's 6. The real answer is 8. So this is 2 to the power of 3, or 2 cubed is another way that you can say that. The reason that we would say cubed for the power of 3, it's like three-dimensional, like a cube. I just wanted to show off my fancy cube skills. Now, what if we had something like 4 squared? We can make our square. Well, that's a pretty bad square, but that's all right. You get the idea. This would be 4 times 4. The base 4 times itself 2 times. And 4 times 4 is 16. We can also do, for example, we can have x to the 4th. So x to the power of 4, expanded form would be x times x times x times x. Now this might not be helpful to you, or you might not really need to worry about that too much in the expanded form, but I want you to know that we can write them both ways. That is the same, they're saying the exact same thing there. So that would be 4 to the power, or x to the power of 4 in expanded form is x times x times x times x. Now in a calculator, in most like scientific calculators, the ones we use at school, the way that we would type in an exponent, for example, we'll just do a new example. We'll do like 12 squared. You would type in, you could just type in 12 times 12. But if the exponent gets too big or the power gets too big, you're not going to want to do that. So you're going to type in 12 and then the little caret button and then the 2. And you can do that for any exponent. Now for an iPhone specifically, for your cell phone, you would have to twist your calculator or your phone sideways so you get the big calculator, and you type in the first, let me try to move down. So you would type in, there's a button that looks like this. So that's a button that you will use, but first you will type in the first number. So I would type in 12, then that XY button, and then I would type in 2 and hit equals. And that will give you the number. So this is the button that you look for on your iPhone, and this is the button that you look for on your calculator to be able to do larger exponents or raise something to the power of whatever you need to raise it to. And this is actually going to give you the right answer. I hope that was helpful and not too confusing. I'm sorry, Android users, I have no idea what your calculator looks like because I have an old iPhone. So that's how you do it on an iPhone. That's how you do it on a calculator, or you can manually type it in. And those are some examples for our exponents. We also have a special case. When something is to the power of 0, any real number to the power of 0 is going to equal 1. So no matter what, it could be 1,276 to the power of 0, and that's just going to be 1. Anything to the power of 0 is going to be 1. I will tell you why or show you why, an informal proof of this next week when we talk about the quotient rule. I think it's next week, maybe the week after. I promise I won't leave you hanging. I always like to tell you why, but right now you're just going to just take my word for it. And I promise that I will show and explain it to you once we learn some further concepts, and then you'll be able to be like, oh, I see, that makes sense. She wasn't saying because I said so. I promise I won't do that to you ever. So hold on tight. I promise I'll explain it later, but right now just remember that anything to the power of 0 equals 1, and it will make sense eventually. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I hope that you all have a fabulous, fabulous day, and I will hopefully see you or talk to you soon.